I'm Tony D'Amelio. I'm co-president of Stamford Dollars for Scholars. And on behalf of everyone in the organization, I want to welcome you here tonight to our second annual Scholarship Awards ceremony. This is a really special night, special for two reasons. First, we're here to honor 20 extraordinary students from the local area. We are so pleased that you are our award recipients this year. I'm sure I speak for the entire room when I say we're proud of what you've accomplished, and we look forward to how education turns out having an impact in your life and having played a role in helping you make college a little bit more affordable. Tonight is also a celebration of Stamford Dollars for Scholars because little more than 2 years ago, this was just an idea. And like most ideas, nothing ever happens until people decide to put their shoulder to it and make something happen. So Stamford Dollars for Scholars is an all-volunteer organization. There is no staff. What made this evening possible is the hard work and dedication of a great group of volunteers who basically believed we could accomplish something really special for local students and that we could have an impact on the community in terms of education. Last year, we awarded 12 scholarships, and last year we were just 9 months old. This year, we are awarding 20 scholarships. So on the basis of that, there is some really great news that the community is responding positively. The community is looking at what we're doing and saying, yes, we'd like to be part of that. So that's really heartening. And word has gotten around what we've accomplished here in Stamford, and I received this morning from the governor's office, which I'll read to you. By His Excellency Daniel P. Malloy, Governor, an official statement. On behalf of the state of Connecticut, I, Daniel P. Malloy, Governor, take great pleasure in welcoming you to the second annual Stamford Dollars for Scholars Awards ceremony. Established in 2011 with the vision that a quality education is vital to success, Stamford Dollars for Scholars provides scholarships to Stamford's high school students who want to pursue their dreams of higher education. Your efforts to mobilize your community to support local students and raise awareness are laudable. By speaking at local organizations in order for students to achieve their educational goals, you're providing a much-needed service. Thank you for all you do for the students, for the city of Stamford, and for the state of Connecticut. Therefore, I, Daniel P. Malloy, Governor of the state of Connecticut, do hereby convey honor and recognition upon Stamford Dollars for Scholars in the state of Connecticut. Now, the credit for that really does go to all of the volunteers who have made this organization work. So many of them are here tonight, not everyone, but certainly those volunteers who have been part of Stamford Dollars for Scholars, please stand now and be recognized so everyone can thank you for your efforts. Come on. Thank you. Stamford Dollars for Scholars is a local chapter of a national organization. I came to know them because in my hometown of Wethersfield, Connecticut, there's a Dollars for Scholars chapter that's been in operation for about 39 years, and it's a great rallying point in the community. They engage the community, they get the community involved, and they last year raised and gave away $130,000. Stamford is 5 times the size of my little hometown, Wethersfield, Connecticut. And when my wife and I moved here back in '05, we thought, we were kind of surprised that Stamford did not have a similar kind of organization. When we wanted to give scholarships, which we do, We did it 3 years in a row, but the process was not the easiest in the world. And we said, I know what the process looks like when it's done well. And I called my friends in Wethersfield, where I've had a music scholarship for about 18 or 20 years, and said, how come you guys are so organized and are so good? And they said, we're part of this Dollars for Scholars organization. You really should check them out. We did. And in September 1st, 2011, we actually chartered the organization. And the interesting thing is, we were talking about doing this. We were talking to a lot of friends and said, this is what's on our minds. And they said, oh, yeah, I'd give to that. It's local. It's something that impacts our community. I would do it, but no one's ever asked me to do it. And to a person, when I asked, virtually everybody had the same response. So the idea is, let's create an organization that is a magnet for scholarships, that is a magnet for information about the cost of college, and is out there to support local students. That's really the bottom line. But why is a community scholarship program so important? Today, I was just looking at some stats this morning. 60% of jobs require some kind of college degree. Back 20 years ago, the number was 37%. By 2018, that increases to 63%, and it increases percentage-wise beyond 2018. So education is what's going to open the door to earning potential, to a successful life. It really is vitally important nowadays. You think about the armed forces. Department of Defense came out to say that it's not your father's army anymore. Even the military requires a level of education to operate all the very sophisticated equipment that is out there on the field. It's no longer carrying a gun and grenades. It's carrying drone equipment. It's carrying all kinds of very, very sophisticated technology. And in order to do that, an education is vital. So even in something as basic as our military service. So quality labor force is also vitally important to a nation's and a region's competitiveness. We are all competing for jobs, not necessarily with the person down the street, but halfway around the world in India or China or somewhere else. So national competitiveness really falls squarely in the purvey of education. Yet, in these tough economic times, the idea that there are talented students who might find it impossible to afford college and the door of opportunity slammed in their face because the cost is what it is something we're trying to make a difference in. We've all read about the high cost of education. Share just a few numbers with you. Everyone's talked about the cost of health care. And if you look at this graph, the orange line, the second one down, is actually the cost of health care. The top line is tuition and fees. And from 1990 until 2011, the last point at which we had data, tuition and fees had increased 300%. The cost of health care increased 150%. The average estimated cost of undergraduate degrees. Public 2-year is the top line at $15,286. 4-year public this is total cost, tuition, room and board, books, the whole bit, $21,000. Public 4-year out of state is $33,000, and private nonprofit looking at $42,224. Those numbers are from last year. So you can see that there is an opportunity that education provides, but there's also then a responsibility in terms of the cost for it. And the cost for it comes in terms of this, which is this graph is about debt. You can see that once that blue line represents household debt, and once 2008 hit, people got very cautious about their household debt. You can see that line start to trail off. But look at the red line. That is college debt. And college debt since 1999 has increased 500%. Looked at another way, different graph, same stat, though this is 2000 to 2011 as opposed to 99 to 2012. You can see the difference. It visually makes the case for you. But why borrow for education? You know, if education's so expensive, what's the point? The point comes down to employment. The point comes down to opportunities and possibility. And these graphs talk about college graduates having lower unemployment rates. They fare better during recession. They enjoy wages roughly double those of high school graduates. And this graph is one that makes the case since the recession started. Since the recession started, that top line, the purple line, shows that the percent of change in employment since the recession. Employment in college graduates went up 9.1%. Some college with no degree stayed flat at 0. And then if you were a high school grad or less than high school, you fared a lot worse. So these are the things that make education so important. It's about possibility. It's about opportunity. And you know, our goal at Stamford Dollars for Scholars is to try and open up the door to opportunity and to possibility for the students in the local community.